My name is Amit Wadhwani, as John mentioned. I'm a co-founder of Morris Capital Management, which celebrated its 10th anniversary last year. One might well ask, does one need yet another value investment fund after all these years of value lagging growth? At the risk of sounding self-interested, I would say, of course, yes. There's a very large spectrum of value investors, ranging from the unreconstructed deep value investors, buying securities at very depressed valuations, to the other end of the spectrum where estimates of earnings and future earnings growth figures as a large part of the security selection process. The important thing to note for this broad swath of value investors, right now, underway is a single-minded pursuit by most investors of growth, technology, AI-related investments. This is leaving behind a number of companies in less fashionable industries with more pedestrian growth metrics, but very often with extremely low valuations, absolute and relative. Therein, I say, lies an opportunity for us value investors. So let's go grab them. Now, uh, very quickly, let me just touch upon our, after I make a note about the disclaimer, which I think everybody should read, if as and when they can focus their eyes on this very fine print. But really, it is a standard disclaimer. Now, this is, of course, about us, and let me turn on to our how we invest. Uh, we we cast our net globally. We're bottom-up deep value investors. We have a long-term time investment horizon. Given these investment horizons, there's not only a heightened sensitivity to valuation for mitigation of price risk and enhancing the margin of safety, but also business or financial risks associated with the business that might crop up during our extended holding periods, and which might have the potential for permanently impairing or diminishing the value of the business or assets within the investee the company. Um, so we take valuation every bit as seriously, but one of the most important things is for us is the financial strength of the business. So in line with our approach to focusing on the knowable, while valuation is disproportionately based on the here and now, we try to do that to minimize assumptions based on what I would say, focusing on the unknowables, rather focusing using the knowables to determine what we think a business is worth. That is to say, none of these should be considered. Our approach avoids making material bets on future assumptions of the future world. Let me now turn to the subject at hand. The company I'm going to talk about today is Natura Cosméticos. Uh, I will refer to it as Natura during my comments. Natura is a Brazilian company listed on the Sao Paulo Stock Exchange. It's got a current equity market capitalization of 10.3 billion reais, or in US dollar terms is $1.92 billion at current exchange rates. My plan today is to give you a quick backgrounder about the company, the tremendous changes it went through over the last 10 to 12 years, and the result multiple dislocations it went through, which, in my view, may well be the source of potential investment opportunity for the patient investor. Again, I mean, how you get there certainly determines where you are, the path cut, and that's what I would like to share with you. First, a quick history of Natura. Natura began its life in São Paulo, Brazil, in 1969 as a lab and a small cosmetic shop focusing on natural beauty products. Key to its origins was combining Amazonian biodiversity with science, emphasizing sustainability and ethical sourcing. The goal was to create a uh, beauty products company suited to Brazil's humid environment, focusing on natural ingredients and therapeutic benefits. In 1974, 5 years later, Natura moved from its traditional retail outlet to a direct selling model, emphasizing human connection, similar to Avon, uh, initially in Brazil, later expanding to Spanish-speaking parts of Latin America over the subsequent years. It entered Chile in 1982, followed by Peru, then Bolivia, then Argentina in the 1990s, followed by other Latin American markets, Mexico, Colombia, Uruguay, etc. During the early 2010s, uh, Natura's international presence remained really Latin America. I mean, Brazil and the rest of Latin America really was what it was. To give you an example, as of 2012, 89% of Natura's $3.1 billion global revenues was still generated in Brazil, where the company had 1.5 million representatives. The remaining 11% came from Argentina, Chile, Peru, Mexico, Venezuela, and Colombia. Natura went public on the Sao Paulo Stock Exchange in 2004. Let me give you some quick milestones of the company's development, which will give you a window into how they operate, how they think about life, and so forth.